Hello and welcome to another episode. I am Brian, the Unskilled Commander, and this is High Octane, where I take one of my decks, give it the perfect opening 7 cards, and then stack the next 10 cards and see just how fast it can win a game. Now, this also considers that there are no interactions from any of your opponents, which is never going to happen, along with you're never going to get the perfect 7 cards plus 10 stacked unless you're flat out cheating. But it's a really fun thought experiment to see just how powerful a deck can be if it hits that perfect storm mix. Today we're going to be looking at my Maze's End Guildgate WinCon deck, and I'm actually kind of surprised it's able to win this fast. Let's jump right in and see how it does it. We're going to start turn 1 by playing a Gond Gate. Gond Gate's very important to all of this because it says gates you control enter the battlefield untapped. But we're going to tap it for a Soul Ring, tap that Soul Ring for an Arcane Signet, tapping the Arcane Signet for Exploration, which says you may play an additional land on each of your turns. We will then play Gruul Guildgate. Comes in tapped, but because of Gond Gate, it untaps. And finally, we will actually tap that Gruul Guildgate for a green to play Arboreal Grazer. A 0/3 with reach, but more importantly, when it enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. We'll play Izzet Guildgate. We have now just played all 7 cards from our opening hand on turn 1. Obviously, Gruul Guildgate being the last one you play is, second to last one you play is really important so that you have the green necessary for Arboreal Grazer. However, past that, for the most part, it doesn't really matter which Guildgate you're playing, or which gate even. You can use some of the gates from Baldur's Gate. Alright, so now it goes around the table. Everyone's playing one land maybe. They're kind of panicking. How did you play so much all in one turn? And it's back to us. We untap, we upkeep, and we draw. We're going to tap the Soul Ring and Arcane Signet for blue to play the enchantment Guild Summit. When Guild Summit enters the battlefield, you may tap any number of untapped gates you control. Draw a card for each gate you tap that way. And whenever a gate enters the battlefield under your control, you draw a card. So we're going to tap all 3 gates to draw 3 cards. We can now play 2 lands per turn. We're going to play another Guildgate, Azorius Guildgate this time. Draw a card. We're going to play Selesnya Guildgate as the second land for turn, drawing another card. We're going to tap the Azorius one to play Amulet of Vigor. Very important for the deck and for this Octane. Amulet of Vigor says whenever a permanent enters the battlefield tapped under your control, you untap it. Now you may be wondering, well, you have Gond Gate that does that already. What do you need it for? The thing is, Maze's End, which is the key piece of all of this, is not actually a gate. So Gond Gate won't help untap it, and you need Maze's End to come in untapped so you can immediately use it. Then finally, you're going to go ahead and tap Selesnya Guildgate for green one more time to play Burgeoning. Burgeoning is another enchantment that says whenever an opponent plays a land, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. So here we are at the end of turn 2, and we have 5 Guildgates already, and you need 10 to win. At some point, one of your 3 opponents is going to have to play a land because it's only turn 2. So they play the land, you play your final one from your hand, Golgari Guildgate. Comes in, you get to draw a card. But that's all you can do. It comes back to your turn, and now you untap, upkeep, draw for turn. Here we are in turn 3, and we're going to start. We're going to play Maze's End. Maze's End normally comes in tapped, but thanks to Amulet of Vigor, it untaps. It can tap for 1 colorless mana, but more importantly, you pay 3, tap it, return Maze's End to your hand, search for a guild gate, put it on the battlefield, then shuffle your library. If you control 10 or more gates with different names, you win the game. So we tap the Soul Ring and the Arcane Signet, bouncing Maze's End back to our hand. We go get a guild gate and put it on the battlefield. That allows us to draw a card. Now that was the first land we played for the turn. We then play Maze's End again, and we go ahead and tap 3 mana to bounce it to our hand once more. Going to search for a guild gate, put it on the battlefield, we draw a card. Unfortunately, that's as far as we can go in this turn. So we pass turn, it goes around. We have 8 guild gates on the table. Everyone's panicking. Comes back around to turn 4. We untap, upkeep, draw. Doesn't really matter what we draw, because we're just going to play Maze's End, tap 2, bounce it to your hand, get a guild gate, it makes you draw a card. We then, second land for turn, we play Maze's End one last time, tapping any 3 mana, bounce it to your hand, getting 1 more guild gate, and there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have 10 guild gates on the field on turn 4. We win the game. Normally, it'll hit on turn 10 like it should be, 10 lands on turn 10. So it's a very consistent deck if left alone. If you hit some nice draw, you can get it a little bit earlier. Being able to pull it off on turn 4 is crazy to me. So there you go. High Octane. Turn 4 win for Maze's End Guildgate. Can you think of a way to make it get any faster? Bump it into turn 3? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next time.